There's growth in Cornwall's business sector. It has been suggested the Economic Development Department could benefit from input from current local businesses to identify what businesses and industries they see as favorable to greater growth. What are your thoughts on this initiative, and what are some of your platform plans for more economic growth here? We begin with Mr. O'Shaughnessy.
As far as economic growth goes, economic growth comes from the private sector. When business come in, they set up. It's not usually done by politicians. It's not usually done by the taxation. It is market driven. Everything that occurs, any new business that opens, the new superstore or Walmart or whatever, it didn't come here because of 46,000 people in the city of Cornwall. It came because of a greater population of 100,000. And the market drove that need, not politicians and not taxation or anything else. So I think when you're talking about the Economic Development Department playing a bigger role, they do play a good role. Now, they are prepared when corporations or businesses, manufacturers, logistics centers come to Cornwall, and I think that they do a fair job.
Thank you, Mr. O'Shaughnessy. Mr. Gilcig?
You know, I look at that question and I'm not quite sure we've really grown that much in the last 4 years business-wise. We've lost, we've gained. I was in Brockville today, going there with a friend. She had a doctor appointment, and for some reason we didn't have this doctor in our community, even though we're twice the size. They had superstores there over 10 years ago. Why does a city half our size have so much larger an economy? The economic development team have one of the biggest line budgets. It's time to review that department and make positive changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gilcig. Mr. Kilgore?
Dan, I believe that we have a very strong economic development department, and we need to maintain a robust marketing to continue to grow our city and to give Mark Bull and Bob Peters, our economic development team, the tools they need to achieve the goals that we set for ourselves for our community. And the greatest need, of course, in economic development is having an inventory of surface land, so that when someone comes knocking at your door, you in fact have the land available to in fact establish that new company, that whether it's logistics or otherwise, in a very timely fashion. And so I think the other strength we have is we've continued to grow our economy and continue to diversify, which has been a great asset for our community.
Gentlemen, the floor is open for 2 minutes.
Well, on economic development, we don't need to look any further. I mean, let's take the logistics sector. Walmart has come to our community. More recently, Shoppers Drug Mart, and again, more recently yet, Target. But the one company also that's out there right now is Loblaws. Loblaws presently owns 120 acres in our business park. And we need, in the next 12 months, to close that deal, because it represents a sizable revenue for the city, but most important of all, it represents 200, 300, 400 new jobs. And obviously we know from time to time that some manufacturers, some businesses make business decisions that are negative towards some of our local residents and workers. And so we need to replace that employment, and certainly Loblaws presents a tremendous opportunity for our community, and I would like to be there to close that deal.
Bob, you had indicated as far as closing the deal, do they not already own the land?
They have an option. They own the land, and we negotiated an extension of that agreement.
Of 3 years.
And
But they have an extension of 3 years?
They have until December of 2015 to begin to put a building on site. And so the next 12 months in the Loblaws file are critical to the growth of our city and our business park.
Isn't it time to stop selling Cornwall cheap? You know, you talk about the amount of land that just went to Loblaws, and the city just went out and had to buy more acres. The jobs per square foot that these distribution centers bring, and it's great that we're getting them, eat up a lot of land and resources, and we don't have development fees. It's time to stop selling Cornwall cheap. You give corporate welfare to Walmart. While people are struggling, you gave a 40% increase to council, and you give corporate welfare to Walmart.
Gentlemen, we're going to have to call that one there. We're going to call that one there. Move on to the next question. Staying with economic